And I'll go ahead and cover a few housekeeping items. So you probably already noticed that all of the participants are muted. So we won't be able to hear you throughout the session, but you can use the chat function to send any questions or comments our way. So just go ahead and use that chat function. You can send questions throughout the entire presentation. And then we do have time at the end to and have some question and answer. So we'll save your questions and come back to those at the end. And without further ado, I would like to hand it over to my colleague, Beverly Johnson.
Thank you, Brianne. Good morning, everyone. My name is Beverly. I am a career and industry specialist with Career and Professional Development Services at ASU. Coming to you this morning to talk to you about career interest communities. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. If we want to get started with just, if you don't mind introducing yourself quickly in the chat feature, that would be great. I would love to hear where you guys all are dialing in from, and if there's anything career related or career interest community related as we go. Like Brianne mentioned, please feel free to use that chat box. So Brianne, can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's start with taking a look at our agenda for today. We want to talk about what the purpose of a career interest community is, actually what a career interest community is, and then we're going to take you through a brief overview of all of the CICs, career interest communities we have here at ASU, and then what the benefits are of like being involved and knowledgeable about your career interest communities, and then how to join them and stay involved and get good information. So that is our agenda, and as we go, please feel free to ask questions and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. So what are career interest communities and what is the purpose of having them? That is the first question we want to answer. So a career interest community is really a group of careers within a field. So the careers might be closely related, and then in other times they might be things that you wouldn't necessarily, thinking of when you think of a field exactly. So focusing on a community instead of a specific career, it leads to more options in your career exploration. So that is the purpose of having them. It used to be that people would get a college degree and then expect that they would get a specific career from that degree. But what we have found is your degree actually is going to qualify you for all different types of careers within a career interest community. And just so you know, I will probably refer to them as CICs as well throughout the presentation. So that's just our abbreviation for career interest community, since that can be a lot to say. So again, the benefit of focusing on a CIC instead of a specific career is that you get more options to explore. So at ASU, we have these specific career interest communities already set up. You can see the last one is called Still Exploring. So you don't have to exactly pick one right away. Of course, a lot of people will start school just kind of wanting to learn more about what their interests are and get ideas as they go about, where they'd like to develop their career. But some of our most popular ones are science, technology, engineering, and math, otherwise known as STEM. And then our business CIC is a big one, and health and wellness as well. And we'll get into the details of what all these communities really entail here in a moment, but you can already start to see some ideas taking shape. So education is an interesting one because a lot of people, they have already an idea in their mind of what education is or what it is, what it could be. So mostly teachers, right? But as we look deeper into the CIC of education, you'll see there are a lot of different careers that fall under that education umbrella that aren't teaching. So that's just one example. These are all of the career interest communities that you can select to be a part of, to kind of join to get information. And we're going to go over how to join them later on in the presentation. I'm going to just take a moment here. It looks like we have some more people logging in. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. On the screen right now, you're going to see a cluster of different fields. These are all the career interest communities that we currently have at ASU, and we're going to go into a broad overview of each one of them as the presentation goes on. So if we could take a moment and just share in the chat of the slide that we just looked at, are there CICs that are most interesting to you already? So we had science, technology, engineering and math, public, social, human services, health and wellness, education, business. We have communications and media, sustainability. So lots of different options here. I'm just curious to see that we have STEM and sustainability education. Looks like we have a little bit of everything so far. So that is really exciting to me. And I love to see if you're interested in more than one. So we have Stephanie saying she's interested in arts, design, and performance and STEM. That is a unique combination of career interest communities. So looking forward to exploring that a little bit further. So thank you for sharing those who have. If you haven't yet, you're still welcome to type into the chat which ones you're interested in. So moving on, I wanted to show you all where you can get detailed information about what the CIC that you're interested in entails. Because I don't expect you all to remember all this information from this presentation, but I want to show you where you can get it. So on the Career and Professional Development Services website, actually I'm going to back way up and show you how to get to the Career and Professional Development Services website. When you're on ASU's homepage, if you type career into the search bar, it is going to bring up our website first. So that's the first thing you will see. Then from here, you can go into career resources, helpful handouts, and then you'll find a list of our career interest communities here. So we did have someone who said they were interested in arts, design, and performance. So this is a good place to start. Actually, I see a couple of you are. There is a handout like this for each one of our CICs. Now, along the side here, you'll see a lot of different options for careers that fall within the CIC. And in addition, you'll find a general overview of the types of, interests and things like, kind of like an overview of the CIC as a whole. And then my favorite part of this are the tips for success. So these are customized for each career interest community. So you'll be able to find some information here that will help you as you go throughout your college career on things that you need to be doing to be competitive in this field once you graduate. I know arts, performance, and design may be one of the only CICs where you'll see this online portfolio. There may be actually a couple places, but this is definitely very important for arts, design, and performance. So on the second page of each of the handouts, you'll find professional associations that are involved with this career interest community, as well as student organizations at ASU. These are meant to be snapshots, so there very well could be additional associations and organizations. So I really encourage you to check those out. This will help you for any CIC you choose. It's going to help you to pick ways to get involved. So I think you'll find throughout all of these presentations that we're having this week for the summer series, there are ways that you can be supplementing your education here at ASU so that when you graduate with your degree, you also have gathered some experiences, some knowledge through outside sources other than your degree to make you a competitive candidate for the careers in these fields. So we're going to check out one more while we're in here. I think we'll take a look at the STEM CIC because it's pretty different. You'll see again the list of possible careers, and this is just a snapshot again. So it's not all encompassing. There may very well be additional STEM careers that aren't listed here, but it's meant to give you some ideas of what you can do, you know, in this career interest community. The tips for success for STEM are, like you can see, are tailored. So definitely want to participate in research whenever possible, and completing internships are very, very important in a lot of the career interest communities. STEM is one of them, but this networking with professors, I don't see that on all of the CIC handouts. So this is, like I said, tailored advice on how you can really be competitive for a career in this field. And as always, we do have our associations and organizations on the back page here. So these are ways that you can get involved in addition to getting that degree to help you be a more competitive candidate. So once again, just wanted to show you where we're at. From the ASU main page, we typed career into the search bar to get to the CPDS, or Career and Professional Development Services website. This is under career resources, helpful handouts, and this is where you can look for the CICs that you believe you might be interested in, or you haven't selected one yet and you want to learn more about them. These handouts are one of the easiest ways to get that information, both the overview and the list of potential careers. Go back into our presentation now. So what are some benefits of being involved in a CIC or career interest community? Is that you're going to stay informed. We are working hard at Career and Professional Development Services to bring you, you know, up to the moment current events that are being offered. These are ways that you can stay informed by joining the CICs and Handshake, which I'm going to show you how to do here in a moment. Joining the ASU Mentor Network and following the groups for the CICs in the Mentor Network. So I'm going to show you that as well. And then each one of our career interest communities has dedicated specialists. So I'm a career and industry specialist. There are 8 or 9 of us, I believe, and each of us are tasked with doing research. Every week we're researching, we're doing informational interviews, and we're doing everything that we can to stay informed on what the current trends are in these industries. So you can find out who your dedicated specialist is for the CIC you're most interested in and schedule a meeting with them to have a discussion directly. I'm going to show you how to do all those things here in some demos. So if in the case that you don't have your Handshake activated yet, I just want to very briefly let you all know that you all do, as ASU students, have a Handshake account. It's just a matter of activating your account by logging in with your ASU right and your password. So there's actually an entire presentation dedicated to showing you how to do that. So I'm not going to go into all those details. Once you have your Handshake set up, though, this is how you would get involved in joining the career interest communities. So we're going to go into Handshake. Like I said, after you have your account set up, this is what you will see once you log in. If you click on the tiny little picture of yourself up on the right-hand corner, you can click on the link that says Career Interests. Once you do that, Handshake is going to ask you to fill this out to the best of your ability. And the more boxes that you check, the more tailored your Handshake is going to become. So it's going to send you information on your career interest. It's going to pick out like events and job postings and things like that. And most importantly, you'll start getting a newsletter for your career interest community. And the newsletter will have sample job postings. It'll have some relevant trending articles and some events that are coming up. So there's a lot of benefit to joining when you when you activate your Handshake profile to go in and select your career interests here. So this is the list. You'll see it lines up exactly with all of the career interest communities that we reviewed in the beginning. You can select as many of them as you want. You can see I have 4 checked off here, and that means that every time a newsletter is published for one of these, I'm going to get that emailed to me, and I'll have that, current monthly information right in my mailbox in an easy to read quick newsletter. But it also is going to pull information out of Handshake as far as job openings and events, and I might get notifications about those things as well. Here you can get down into like specific careers or titles that you're interested in, and even within each CIC, you can take a look at or you can select, more specifically what it is that you're interested in. So once again, just for demonstration purposes, we got here by logging into our Handshake, clicking on the tiny little picture way in the upper right-hand corner, and then selecting career interests. Then you'll have all of these options to choose from. So just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions as we're going, please feel free to type them into the chat, and we'll make sure that we address them either as we go or after the demonstration. So ASU Mentor Network is an amazing resource. This is a community of people, professionals. A lot of them have ties to ASU. They might be faculty or staff of ASU or alumni, and some of them aren't, but they're just really interested in building a mentorship type connection. So Mentorship Network really is meant to be a source where you can find someone who's in a field that you're interested in to truly be a mentor to you, to kind of develop that long-term relationship with, to go to for advice and questions throughout your college education. But you can also use the Mentor Network to do some professional networking. If you want to have an informational interview with someone in a career you're interested in. But the reason why we're checking out the Mentor Network today is because of the discussion boards within the platform. So this is another case where I'm not going to walk you through like setting up your whole profile. So the first time you go to the Mentor Network, you'll be prompted to, create your profile, upload a picture, tell a little bit about yourself. Really, again, it's very already set up for you. So all you have to do is activate it by logging in and then set up your profile from there. Once you do that, you'll be able to log in very quickly and easily with your ASU right and password again. It'll probably prompt me to sign in. Just give me one moment here. Okay, so this is the dashboard page on the Mentor Network. When you get in here, where we're going to find the information about our career interest communities is within the groups. So in the groups here, you can select all of the ones that you're interested in and add them to your page. These are the groups that I am a part of right now. So let's go in example into the health and wellness group. So when you're in here, you're going to see an about page. These links here will take you to those handouts, and then also there are some additional web pages available to do some further exploration. Has similar information to the handouts, but maybe something supplemental that we didn't see there. And then you can see a YouTube video here about choosing your career interest areas. You'll be able to see here who in the Mentor Network has also selected this group, so who's a member. These people would be good resources to reach out to if you have questions, if you're looking for a mentor or want to do an informational interview. So these are the members that are have joined this particular career interest community. And again, we're in health and wellness. The discussion board is a pretty popular place. As you can see, we get some active discussions in here about, you can ask any question you want, and then mentors or career industry specialists will come in and answer the questions for you. So this is a really neat resource, you know, available 24/7. If you don't want to actually seek out a mentor and have a conversation, you might be able to just post your question in here and have some knowledgeable professionals from the field come in and answer your questions. We also have different resources here. So these are articles that are current and relevant about you know, anything health and wellness related we have posted in here. And then events should poll. Nope, these ones, we don't have any events planned right now for this particular group. But if we go in here to another group, you can see how the events will poll. Okay, it's gonna play a little trick on me. It's worked this morning. Anyway, this should pull from Handshake some events that are coming up. So I apologize for that technical glitch there. Anyway, again, this is the ASU Mentor Network. As an ASU student, you definitely have access to this to go in and join as many of the CIC groups as you want and get involved in the discussion or possibly find a mentor to help you. So the benefits of being in the mentor, or I'm sorry, being either joining the Handshake career interest communities or joining those groups in the ASU Mentor Network is that you're going to be the first to know about opportunities and events. Like I mentioned, in Handshake, you're going to get customized notifications. You'll get messages in your Handshake mailbox and sometimes even in your ASU email with those newsletters, and any kind of some job postings and events that come up will come directly to you and you don't have to seek them out. Also, this is going to help you to start doing that professional networking. We are seeing more and more that this is a really important step. If you want to be competitive and career ready by the time you get your degree, building that network during your college experience is critically important, and both Handshake and ASU Mentor Network can help you do that. Also, you're going to stay on top of what's trending in those industries, again, through the newsletters, blogs, events, things like that. So there are a lot of benefits to figuring out which career interest community you're interested in, either joining the community discussion in Mentor Network or selecting those CICs in Handshake. So now that we have gone through kind of some different avenues on how to stay current in these career industries, career interest communities, I'm just wondering if you could post in the chat what platform that you like best for exploring the CICs. So we have the Mentor Network, we have Handshake, we also have the industry specialists that you could meet with as well. So I see a question in the chat about being a biochemistry major. So I think that the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math would be the most obvious choice for you as far as like the CIC that you would want to join, but also it depends on kind of what you want to do with your biochemistry. So you might want to also go into education or use your knowledge and specialization in biochemistry to help in the sustainability field. So I would definitely start with the STEM, but then you might also have other interests that you can select those as well. Okay, Stephanie, thank you. So meeting with an industry specialist leads me to recall that there was one more thing I should have showed you in Handshake. Oh. Is everybody still seeing my Handshake screen now that I accidentally clicked out of there? Let me know if you can't see it. Wanted to go. Okay, thank you guys. So to meet with a career and industry specialist, you would want to go into Handshake again. You click on the Career Center tab and then you go into appointments. As far as you'll be able to see on our website which specialists are assigned to which community. And so once you do that, you can go into the type of appointment that you want, and then you can click on the staff member to see what appointments they have available. So then only their availability will show up. Olivia, there we go. So Olivia is in health and wellness and STEM. So if you wanted to meet specifically with her, this is how you would do it. So I wanted to show you also, where's my place here? So sorry, hold on one moment. The CIC Arts and Design. Where was it? Okay, I have lost my place here. So there is a way to figure out which CICs, which career and industry specialist is linked to which CIC, but now I have lost my place here. I apologize. To the career interest communities, here we go. So on this page, when you click in, it will show you here on the right which career and industry specialist you should make an appointment with if that's who you want to meet with for a specific CIC exploration appointment with a career and industry specialist. And ironically, I see a message in the chat here for healthcare coordination. So this is the health and wellness CIC. Lalo and Olivia would be our contacts for that. See. So Handshake is where you would be able to look for internships in your city. So that would be the Handshake job search function. To do that, you would go on to the jobs tab, type in internship or click on internship, and then type in your location. All right, sorry about the diversion there. Let's see. We were actually at the very end of the presentation. So something we always like to say here at Career and Professional Development Services is that the sooner you start, the further you'll go. So please don't hesitate as far as getting involved with those student orgs and clubs, meeting with a career and industry specialist, selecting your CICs and Handshake, getting all that information, you know, the sooner the better. It's always unfortunate when students make it all the way to graduation and they haven't become involved in any other way. Then they can have a really challenging time because a lot of entry-level positions even, they'll want you to have some sort of experiences to talk about. So that's all I have. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the screen share so that we can go back to the focusing on the chat. Okay, so I want to make sure that we have reached all of the questions. So it looks like Brianne has been answering some of the questions as well. The internship.
Sorry, Beverly. We just have one question about, are these resources free to ASU students?
Yes, actually, these are free resources for ASU students and for ASU alumni. So once you graduate from ASU, you have access to Handshake and to the Career and Professional Services for life. So we hope to see you during your career at ASU and then afterwards as well.
And then I also just want to point out for anyone who's interested in learning more about Handshake as a platform, how you can get it set up, get your profile developed, that's actually going to be our next session. So after we finish up this one, the next session at 11 a.m. today, we're going to be diving into Handshake even further. So definitely hop onto that one. And for anyone who wants to learn more about how to really leverage the ASU Mentor Network platform, we will be covering that in a session on Friday morning at 10 a.m. So I did go ahead and share the link where you can access all of the other events in our chat box. So please do sign up for any other sessions if this maybe piqued your interest and you want to dig a little deeper into how to use those resources.
Excellent.
So I think we answered most of the questions already, but if you all have any other questions, we still do have some time. So please feel free to pop those into the chat function. And Beverly, I see some comments that people are just learning of CICs today, so they're, I think, pretty excited about them.
Yes, I love the concept of the CICs. I really do, because it, like I said, it just gives you so many options. We don't have to think of, you know, that specific major or degree equaling a specific career. You have a lot more options, I think, than most people realize even when they start looking into it. Thank you all for your thanks and your kind comments. I appreciate it.
All right, well, if there's no other questions for today, we just want to thank everyone one more time for joining us. We hope that you learned a lot about career interest communities, and we will go ahead and send the link to this recording out to all participants. So in case there was a part that you didn't catch, we will go ahead and send the recording out as well. So if anyone has more specific questions, we're going to hang around for a couple more minutes, and I do see some questions in the chat box here if we can go ahead and unmute participants. So we will do that for anyone who wants to stay on the line. We'll go ahead and unmute you so you can ask more questions.
Wonderful. Stephanie, if you'd like to go ahead and ask.
I was just going to ask, you said you were, that my combination was an interesting one, and you're right, STEM and arts and performances is a very strange combination for most. Is there any better way to look for, I'm looking for a broad range of jobs, because I mix, I have a lot of sewing skills and I have engineering skills. And those two things can overlap a lot within engineering, but it can be difficult to find jobs where they specifically overlap because people don't search for someone with those two skill sets. Is there any way to get closer into that with these platforms, or is it better to just kind of go to the career fairs and stuff like that and go more that route?
Well, I think it's probably a mix of both. So I love talking to students who have a really broad range of interests. I think a lot of people find that overwhelming because they're not quite sure what to do with it, but I see it more as an excellent opportunity. You have so many more opportunities ahead of you because of your broad range and not having that narrow scope. I would recommend talking to a specialist, I think, to kind of plan out, and if you do that earlier in your college career rather than later, then you can start looking for those kinds of opportunities.
That ship sailed. Just let me.
Gotcha. That's fine. So we do have an amazing specialist who specializes in the creative careers, who does that arts, design, and performance type work. He brings some amazing perspective and some really fresh ideas that I think a lot of us don't, get traditionally. His name is DP Layton. And if you look into our website on that page for Arts, Design, and Performance, you'll be able to find his contact info there. But definitely the networking is also going to help. Like, do you have like any sort of idea about what you could do with that combination? Then you would want to seek out either industries or professionals within those industries and learn more about them to learn what you can do to kind of get in the door, find where the entry points are.
Cool. Is it possible to make an appointment with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you would just search for my name in the specialist bar when you go into Handshake.
Cool. Then I will look at that because I would like to talk further with you about this.
That sounds great. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions? Oh, thank you. And Brianne put DP's name in the chat as well.
Wonderful. I did not spell that correctly. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Last call for questions. All right, Brianne, I'm guessing that we're finished up here. I'm not seeing anything else come in.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and wrap up. So thank you again so much, Beverly, and thank you everyone for joining us today, and hope to see you at another session. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.